Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Gabe with Indigo Software, genuine Microsoft software for less. So in today's video, we've built a list for the top 10 practical life hacks for using ChatGPT that may enhance the experience. Now, before we jump into that, if you're interested in genuine Microsoft software at a great price, check out Indigo Software. We'll have links in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so number one is that ChatGPT can generate text in different formats. So it might be extremely helpful for you to specify the desired format to the model whenever you're trying to get a certain result. All right, so we'll do a quick example here. I've got ChatGPT open and I'm gonna type, write me a haiku about YouTube. So as you can see, it gave me my response in a 575 syllable format, otherwise known as a haiku. So this is really cool, and ChatGPT can actually output just about any format. I've used it for writing screenplay on short films. Of course, it can format essays. And so the first life hack is specify the format that you want, and it does an amazing job of doing that. All right, so the second life hack that we have for you guys is using system messages. Now what this means is that we can prompt ChatGPT to give us more specific information. So for example, we might start a question with something like this. You are an expert in this field. I need detailed information about Windows 11. And it's generating for me a host of information about Windows 11. I could go through and read this and get some pretty specific details here. We can see some of the RAM requirements and capabilities, some of these software capabilities, gaming improvements, and a whole lot more information. And so we can use similar messages like this one if we're looking for more or less specific detail. All right, so our next life hack for ChatGPT is to utilize context for multi-turn conversations. To maintain a coherent conversation, refer back to the previous responses by explicitly mentioning relevant details. This helps ChatGPT understand the context and provide more accurate and consistent answers. So for a quick example of this, if I were writing some copy for my website, anytime I type in a new search query, I might tell ChatGPT something along the lines of, keep my homepage copy in mind and write me a summary on my about page. Something like that. You can point it in the direction of what you want it to use as context, and this might help you get more accurate results for what you're trying to get. Now, the next life hack that we have for you guys is to make use of examples. So when asking ChatGPT for assistance with a specific task, providing example inputs and outputs can help clarify your intent. So again, we're going to provide more guidance to the model and increase the chances of getting our desired result. All right, so I just typed in a quick line as an example for this one. So I started with, come up with a life hack for ChatGPT. Here's an example. And so it's going to read this example and interpret it as best it can, and then it's going to take that into consideration when generating you a response. Now, the next tip we have for you guys is to break down complex questions into numerous questions. So if you have something that's very complex, it might be difficult for the model to interpret it as is. So trying to give it broken down a little bit more simple questions is probably going to yield much better results. Next tip that we have for you guys is fact check critical information. Now, ChatGPT strives to provide accurate information, but it's a good idea to fact check your information from a reliable source just to make sure that what you're referencing is actually correct. Now, the next tip that we have for you guys is to reframe ambiguous queries. So if you try something and ChatGPT doesn't fully understand your question or provides kind of like an unexpected response, try rephrasing or providing additional context to clarify the query. And experimenting with different wording can help as well. Now, the next tip that we have for you guys is to experiment with conversation length. ChatGPT does have a token limit for each interaction. If you encounter cutoff issues, consider shortening your queries or breaking them down into multiple exchanges. This allows for smoother interactions and prevents important details from being cut off. Now, the next tip that we have for you guys is to provide feedback. OpenAI encourages users to provide feedback on problematic outputs, and this might help OpenAI address limitations and improve the model's performance. All right, and the last tip that we have for you guys is to use ChatGPT to revise or refine something that you're building. So for example, I was working on a blog post the other day and I was using ChatGPT for it. And what I did was I had it write it for me from scratch, and then I would pull in more context from somewhere else or just kind of guide it a little bit better. And then I would ask it to rewrite. So I'd say, hey, ChatGPT, can you please rewrite this and keep all this in mind? And you can infinitely do that, and it'll keep getting better and better. So the more that the model can understand what you're trying to do, it's taking all of the information that you're giving it into context. You can really refine and touch up on something that you're working on. All right, so that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop those in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Again, if you're interested in genuine Microsoft software at a great price, check out Indigo Software. We'll have links in the description box below. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.